Well, welcome to Ask the Edmonds Cop, and can you tell we're in holiday mode? I just wanted to show off my holiday Converse All-Stars, but let's talk about two questions that we received recently from readers that we have addressed in the past, but we thought it'd be good to talk about them again just because they're important questions. One, the first one, is from a reader who was concerned because she, just reading from her email, she's almost been hit in three separate times by cars crossing crosswalks downtown, and she happens to be blind and has a guide dog, and with rainy weather and all of that, what can she do to protect herself? We talked about pedestrian safety a lot, so
we have talked about pedestrian safety,
but it's a question that keeps coming up.
It does. And so first of all, if you're the pedestrian walking, the recommendation is always be visible as much as you can, especially with it being so dark out so early now. By 5 o'clock, you're pretty much hours of darkness. So light colored clothes, if you're going to be a pedestrian out all the time, like that is one of your primary modes of transportation is the feet, it's probably sound advice to invest in some sort of reflective material, like one of those walking vests, something, or the flashing lights, anything you can clip on. Whatever you can do to make yourself more visible to cars is always a benefit.
Right.
Okay, and then obviously if you're the one driving, put the cell phone down, plug into what you're doing, pay attention, and realize there are still people out. Just because it's dark out doesn't mean there's no pedestrians out. And you really pay attention. Slow down, be checking, head on a swivel when you're driving. And you'll watch people just drive blindly down the road, and they're really just kind of in their own little tunnel and their own little world. But pay attention when I come up to intersections. I'm checking both ways multiple times, kind of break that tunnel vision and really be get that peripheral vision working and being like, okay, what's out there, and you'll be surprised what you see. And it just comes down to paying attention.
Right, and pedestrians I think are doing a better job, I've found, of trying to make eye contact with drivers. That helps. But, in the case of a woman who is blind and not having that ability, I guess what I would say is, and I'm sure you would agree with this, think how badly you would feel if you happen to hit somebody, and just really take your responsibility as a driver seriously, right?
Oh, it's awful. I've been to these things before, and the driver wasn't paying attention, and sometimes it's the pedestrian's fault. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, because you still had someone hit by a car,
right?
And that's an awful thing for everybody involved. So it on both sides, just really pay attention. And for her, she can't do a lot of those same sort of things. Like she's reliant on this amazing guide dog to tell her when to stop, when to cross, and so forth. So some of, that vision that you and I might have, that whole element is gone for her. So, you really have to be paying attention. And it's good for people to realize, she's not the only one out there in this situation, that's walking to and from places or to work or whatever it comes down to. So you need to be mindful of that and really pay attention.
Okay, good. Well, and the second question we received was from somebody who has a neighbor who seems very inconsiderate of others. They continue doing karaoke until past midnight.
Yeah, so...
noise issue.
Yeah. We've done noise ordinance segments before, so, you need to give us a call.
When it's happening, right?
When it's happening. Yeah. Correct. Then we can come out and listen to it, for ourselves, and, knock on the door and, hey, we need to be done. And if it's a routine problem, then those knocks, after a while, it gets pretty annoying when the police are continually knocking on your door, and it's like, hey, we're just like, well, here's the noise ordinance, this is what it says, and you need to tune it down.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, and I think people need to remember that police in Edmonds, we're very fortunate. You are very responsive. You do come when called, and
it's not bothering us. That's what you're paying us for.
Right?
So it's a quality of life issue. That's what we're there for. Just give us a call.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We'll be back soon with another episode of Ask the Edmonds Cop.